Alright, I know what you're probably thinking right now. NEL Rin? Why would he need a rework? He's already one of the strongest styles in the game. And honestly, I totally get it. Rin has been a good pick for a long time, and he's one of those characters that everyone seems to recognize as one of the best top-tier picks. His moves are good, and he's been consistent in seeing on the field, as I've seen at least one NEL Rin user in almost every match I've played. But here's the thing. Even though he might be considered one of the best, there's a lot about him that still leaves something to be desired. Now, I'm not talking about, for example, his shot power or his ability to score half field goals. That's obvious, right? I'm talking about the more fundamental aspects of his character, his animations, his visual effects, and how he fits into the current meta. However, we will also discuss his moves later, so yeah. I get it, though. Whenever the word rework gets thrown around, a lot of people immediately think it means turning a character into some overpowered god-tier force. And yeah, I totally understand why that's the first thing that comes to mind, because in most cases, not all, but most reworks tend to bring in buffs, sometimes even huge ones. But that's not what I'm talking about when it comes to NEL Rin. This isn't about making him crazy strong and unbalanced. It's about fixing the visual animations and smoothing out his overall feel in-game. I want Rin to feel as fluid and polished as other top-tier characters without breaking the game in the process. So let's dive into the areas where I think he could really use some attention. Here's the deal. I'm sure some of you are thinking, but Rin is already so strong, why mess with a good thing? And you're right to ask that. Rin is still definitely one of the top picks in the game. He's fast, he's powerful, and he has that insane half-field goal-scoring ability that makes him a constant threat. But here's the thing, it's been almost a month since we last saw a significant update for him, and let's be real, the changes that were made weren't exactly groundbreaking. Sure, we got a couple of extra seconds added to his ultimate animation, but if we're being honest, it looks like it was made in 144p. I mean, the upgrade was so minimal that it hardly made a difference. And when you compare it to the other recent updates to characters' visuals and animations, it just doesn't measure up. It's not the big visual overhaul we were all hoping for to bring him in line with the other characters' animations. Then there's the whole curve shot situation. I don't know about you, but when they removed that from his base moveset, it felt like a strange decision. Sure, maybe there was some balance reasoning behind it, but it still doesn't sit right. A lot of people loved using the curve shot to really maximize his offensive presence. It's a fun move, and it gave Rin an edge that was pretty unique. So to just take it out of his kit felt like a bit of a missed opportunity. And honestly, with that, they kind of made his gameplay feel less dynamic. And I haven't even touched on the bug with his annihilation shot yet. Right now, it's spinning in the opposite direction of where it should be, and that's just frustrating. I get that bugs happen, but this one's been going on for days and it still hasn't been fixed. When you're trying to use one of your most powerful shots in the game, and it's not working as intended, that's a huge issue. It's a gameplay killer. And it's hard to ignore that when you're trying to enjoy playing with Rin. But I think the biggest problem right now is his animations. It's honestly hard to ignore how outdated they feel, even though he had a rework not long ago. While other characters are getting these sleek and smooth movement updates, Rin's animations have stayed, to be honest, worse than in a pre-work Rin's animations, and they just don't look as polished. They're a bit stiff and don't convey the same energy that other top-tier characters do when they move on the field, for example, Kaiser, Enel Bakira, and others. In a game where, let's be honest, animations are the key, Rin's animations feel a bit behind the times. It's like he's stuck in the past, while all the other characters are getting these flashy, high-speed updates. And that's exactly why I think it's time for a rework. And don't forget the polls where most of the people voted for Rin to get another rework. So here's why I think NEL Rin truly needs a rework. The main reason comes down to one simple thing. He's not matching the visual quality and fluidity of the newer characters in the game. His animations feel outdated, too much VFX, some of his abilities don't always work consistently, and there's just a general lack of polish in his overall feel. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Rin is weak or bad by any means, far from it. But when you compare his current animations and abilities to some of the other characters, it's clear that he could use a bit of a refresh. Take his annihilation shot, for example. It should be this massive, explosive move, a signature play that really showcases Rin's power and precision, and mainly it should curve, and I mean the actual curving we saw with the pre-nerf Rin. But when you use it, sometimes it feels like the shot isn't even hitting the right spot, or the animation doesn't quite match the intensity of what he's doing, and oh man. The VFXs are too much for the shot in my opinion. It doesn't hit with the same, feeling as some of the other shots in the game. Same goes for his dash, for example, or even his ultimate. His movements feel a little off, a little stiff, and it takes away from the excitement of playing with him. He's not as fluid as he could be, and that's a huge missed opportunity for a character with his potential. It's not that Rin needs to be buffed to become better. It's not about making him stronger or more powerful. He's already strong enough. He just needs a visual overhaul to make him feel more in line with the top-tier characters, but I also wanted to tweak some movements if I were asked. His animations and movements need to match his character and his abilities from the actual manga scenes, and that's where the rework comes in. A few small tweaks and visual updates would make Rin feel way more fluid and dynamic, and in the process make him even more fun to play. Let's dive into what I think would make a big difference for NEL Rin. We're not talking about huge overpowered changes, but rather some small tweaks that would really improve his gameplay and make him feel more consistent. First off, I think the curve shot should make a return, but this time, let's make it toggleable in the settings. Some players love using it, while others prefer not to, so giving everyone the choice seems like a win. That way, players can enjoy the move without it feeling forced on anyone. Moving on to Dangerous Domain. This ability could really use a slight upgrade or just a replacement with another his old dribbling moves when he was pre-worked. Right now, let's talk the changes for his domain, but I honestly think the devs should just get rid of this move and replace it. But let's talk about the domain for a second. So it only picks up the balls when the other player isn't doing anything. But what if Rin could also grab balls in the air near enemies? I get it, that might sound a bit strong. So another idea could be making it so Rin can still pick up loose balls on the ground, but his steal would activate faster and no longer go through iframes. This would make the move feel more responsive and actually help him in tighter situations. And yeah, it sounds a bit op, but okay, as I said, that's why I want his domain to be gone and be replaced with an old dribbling move he had when he was pre-reworked. Just buff his distance a little bit, lower his cooldowns, and that's all. Next up, his dash is a move that could truly shine with a little tweak. Right now, it's good, but imagine if Rin could sprint to the right, feint quickly, and then dash diagonally to the left. After that, he could trigger a full burst. It's a simple but effective combo that would give Rin much more control while on the ball, and that would make him even more versatile, not like the NEL Nagi's dash, but more like Don Lorenzo's dribbling move. Finally, for Annihilation, I'm suggesting a small buff. It should curve more. This would make the shot more consistent and impactful without turning him into an overpowered character. It would give him a little extra feel like you're an actual Rin, but still keep him balanced. Now, moving on to his Awakening. I'm not going to go into detail because it's going to be a long video, so I just wanted to say, just rework his all Awakening animations. Awakening shot, and that's all. With the new animators, I think Rin's going to have good VFXs and animations. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means a lot, and we're almost at 50,000 subs. Thanks for the love, and I'll see you in the next one.